everyone, it's Hannah, and if you follow me on Instagram then you already know, but tomorrow I am launching a brand new yarn collection based on the book Legends Lattes by Travis Baldree. If you are unaware, Legends Lattes is just quite a cosy read, nothing too intense happens through it. It gives very much autumnal cosy vibes, although I read this in the summer, and it's just quite a nice light read if you are like me and you enjoy a psychological thriller most of the time. Sometimes reading heavy book after heavy book can get a little bit much, so it's nice to have a palette cleanser. I feel like this is quite a good palette cleanser. It is about an orc who decides to stop adventuring to set up a coffee shop, and yeah, it's just quite a nice cozy read and something a bit different to what I usually read anyway. It might not be different to what you usually read, but yes, so I decided to make a yarn collection based on some of the characters' antics, things, and the perfect autumnal colours, so I thought that I would share them with you today. Hello, if you are new, my name is Hannah. I am the business owner behind the Corner of Craft. This is my YouTube channel. I usually have glasses on, but they're downstairs and I can't be bothered to go and get them. I make hand beaded stitch markers and I dye yarn in colours usually inspired by Dungeons and Dragons under the name Chromatic Yarns, and I decided for this yarn collection I was going to do something a bit different and dye yarn based on a book, do a collection based on a book, and it's kind of D&D adjacent, you know? You know, it's about someone who went out and did adventuring. She was an orc barbarian. These are all things that happen in D&D, so I figure that it's perfectly fine to also include this as inspiration, right? So I have been talking about doing this collection for so long. I wanted to launch it in September, but I did some trials in August. If you follow me on Patreon, if you're part of the Biscuit Brew crew, then you would have seen those trials, and they're pretty, but they didn't turn out how I wanted them to. I can see them over there. They'll go in the shop at some point as one-offs. I think it's because I was trying really hard to dye in a style unlike my own, and that's quite a difficult thing to do. So I decided to embrace how I dye yarn, and this is the collection that we have come up with. Yes. So this collection is made up of 5 variegated colours and 4 semi-solids. It's my first time attempting a semi-solid, so that's exciting. Exciting for me anyway. So shall we start with the variegated? So first up we have this colourway, which is called What in the Eight Hells is Coffee, which is something the Hobgoblin says, because coffee is a new thing in Thune where they are. So What in the Eight Hells is Coffee, and it's inspired by a cup of coffee in a clay mug. So we've got brown with deep brown speckles and orange for the sort of terracotta mug, clay mug. This is it on Sturdy DK, which is 100% superwash Blueface Leicester. I'm not going to repeat this for every colourway, don't worry, just the first one. This is Sturdy Sock, which is 75% superwash Blueface Leicester, 25% nylon. It makes very good sock yarn because Blueface Leicester, which is a breed of sheep if you don't know, has the strands of wool, like hair almost, are longer, which means it doesn't pill as easily, it doesn't create holes as easily, so I like that. We've got it on merino sock for those who find Blueface Leicester a little scratchy. It's super soft. This is 85% Blueface Leicester, 15% nylon. Where's my sparkle? Here it is. This is Sparkle Sock. This is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon and 5% lurex. Those little flecks in there are sparkle if you like something a little sparkly. Then we have the Boucle Merino DK. This is 100% superwash merino and is so fuzzy. Oh, I love the boucle on all these bases. I think it looks so good. I definitely need to knit something with it. Next up we have the Tweed 4-ply. This one is 85% superwash Blueface Leicester, 15% Donegal Nep, which are these little flecky parts that you might be able to see. I couldn't do this collection without doing a tweed base, really, could I? So autumnal. So this is the fluffy lace. This is 72% super kid mohair, 28% silk. So fluffy. It will be beautiful paired with this, for example, to make it a nice fuzzy jumper or hat or whatever. I've also used it in socks, but those are quite luxurious socks. And this is on the Surrey Cloud lace base, which is also fuzzy. It has less meterage than the mohair. It doesn't molt as much as the mohair though. I'm a bit of a recent Surrey convert. This is 74% baby Surrey alpaca, 26% mulberry silk, and also fuzzy, also good for pairing with other yarns if that's your speed, or yeah. So this is What in the Eight Hells is Coffee. There's going to be some spoilers for the books as I reveal these colourways, because there is. I can't not spoil it. It's just how, it's because of how the colourways are named. So apologies in advance. I'll try not to go into as much detail, so the spoilers will be a bit more mild. So next up we have Damned Glad to Have You. This is inspired by Viv and Tandri. Tandri being the, come on, what's the word I'm looking for? Succubus? Yes, that is the word. On the front. So it's pink and green with brown and some fun speckles. So this is the merino sock, and oh, I love how merino sock takes speckles. Then we have the boucle, which beautiful. This reminds me of like a rose garden. This colourway very much does, with the pink and the green and the brown, and maybe like a rose garden around this time of year. We've got the Surrey Cloud lace. This is with the alpaca. Now the Surrey takes dye much more muted and softer than the mohair does. This is the mohair. The fluffy lace. This light is, I should have learnt when I did my What's It collection, my DM's library collection, that this is not the best location for filming because I have a window up above me, so the lighting is not the best. This is Sturdy DK. So pretty. Oh, excited, I'm excited. Sturdy sock. Unfortunately, I do not have a sock knitting machine, and I haven't had any knitting time at all since creating these colourways, so I do not have samples of them ready to go. I'm very, very sorry, but Advents have taken over all of my free time, so I don't have any samples. This is sparkle sock, sorry. And then the tweed. I love the tweed on this because the tweed base is just a bit more grey anyway. Not as grey as, say, a yak would be, but it's a bit more grey. I love this. I think it's so pretty. So this on mohair has my heart. This is Thimble. This is inspired by the baker that Viv hires, who is a ratkin. So it's just like a little rat who's a humanoid. It's not like an actual rat, but I was imagining like a little rat. So it's kind of a taupey colour with blush pink on, and then it's got some warm speckles and a few charcoal grey speckles and pink on it. Very different vibe. This is it on mohair, so it might not be the best representation. So this is fluffy lace. For some reason my supplier must have switched mills, because I had a bunch that were like this and now I've got some that are like this, so now it's exactly the same content, but some of mine are slightly longer. It feels a bit odd, but that's also fine. Next up we've got it on Sturdy Sock. I love this colourway. It's so not me, but is so pretty. Oh, so good. And then Sparkle Sock. Thimble just has so much sass and confidence. I love it. He just like goes in. He doesn't talk much. He's very quiet, very shy. But he's like, I need this. I need this. I want, not in a like a bratty way, but he's like, okay, I need flour. I need cinnamon. I need an oven. I'd like this oven. This is the boucle. And yeah, we could all do with being a bit more like Thimble sometimes. Surrey cloud lace. Oh my god, this on Surrey is heavenly. Oh, delicious. Kind of want a jumper. I don't have time. I do not have time to knit another jumper. I've got so many sweater quantities over there. This is merino sock. Sorry. And then Sturdy DK. So yeah, it's kind of got a base of taupe and then blush pink. And if you want to get a close-up picture of these, I have got them all posted on Instagram, and obviously they will be on the listing as well. So next up we have the colourway that I called Home, which is what Viv called the or referred to the coffee shop as towards the end. And this is just how I envision the coffee shop sort of feeling like or looking in my head. It's got like a fire burning, and there's like wood. It's like a wooden building. It's got like plants everywhere, and it's just cozy. So I wanted to try and create a cozy feeling, and this is what I came up with. Rich gold with like a mossy green and brown with speckles, and oh, it's gorgeous. This is Sturdy DK. These are the only bases it's going to be available on. So if you don't see the base that you want, it's not available on that base, but you can order them on all these bases from 4 o'clock tomorrow. This is fluffy lace. This is the mohair. So rich on this mohair. Ooh, ooh. So in contrast, this is it on the Surrey. Like I say, Surrey is much more muted, much more toned down than the other bases are. It's just the nature of the fluff. It's really pretty. On the boucle, where's my other boucle? Here, on the boucle. Beautiful, beautiful. And then we've got tweed. I've never done this many colours for a collection. I think the most I've done is 6. I'm also relatively new to doing collections. I don't bust out loads. So yeah, this is a new experience for me. This is on Sturdy Sock. The camera's wanting to focus on my beautiful face. Can't say I blame it, but it's not the most helpful. Merino sock. I always dye 2 of each because just by how sometimes the yarn is twisted, because I always hold the yarn in the same place. I always hold it at the tie. So depending where the tie is on the skein when I'm dyeing it, they're going to twist up and look a bit different. So these were in the same pan next to each other, so they have the same treatment. They've just, because of how they've twisted, they look quite different, and that's why I like showing more than one at a time. Oh, I have a cat up here. Hi, Miso. She might not come over. If she comes over, I'll pay the cat tax, but if she's just sitting up there, she can stay. It's up to you. You can come down if you want. And then Sparkle. It doesn't help that it's not particularly fabulous weather today. We've had a couple of days of it being like 20 odd degrees, and now it's very much not, which is nice because it means I can actually put my jumpers on instead of being way too warm. Right, I'm going to put these colourways away and get the last variegated and then show you all these semi-solids. So finally, for the variegated colourways, we have Scalvert Stone, which is the stone that Viv finds in the beginning of the book that kind of goes with her throughout the whole story. It's meant to look a bit like amber, but I kind of went a bit more yellowy, orangey, reddy than golden. But yes, I love this one. There's a little more my usual dye style, vibrant brights, less neutrals. So for people that like, although saying that, yellows never tend to sell terribly well in my shop, but I couldn't do a collection and not include this one. So pretty. So that, sorry, that was 30k. This is merino sock. Boucle. Boucle. So cool. So cool. And then Sturdy Sock. Miso's just up there judging me. She looks like she's half asleep. Did you just wake up from a nap? You got confused because I'm up here? Maybe. She shouted at me whilst I just recorded my Patreon video, so Anyway, this is fluffy lace, so the mohair base. Very pretty. Sparkle sock. This is tweed 4-ply. And then we have the Surrey, once again much more muted, but also so fluffy and delightful. So that is it for the variegated colourways. I'm going to show you the semi-solids now. I dyed these with the intention that they can kind of be used together, you know. So first up we have Exotic Bean Water. Let's do that one first. Sure, why not? So I'm calling them semi-solids because there is some like mild variegation within the colour. It's not completely solid of a colour because I am not a machine. I do not commercially dye yarn. Therefore, there will be some slightly darker bits, some slightly lighter bits. Hence, semi-solid instead of like a solid colour. But yes, this is Exotic Bean Water, obviously inspired, well, maybe not obviously. This is inspired by coffee, but I'm hoping it's obvious. If it's not, then I've failed. So that is a sturdy sock, merino sock. Such a nice brown. Like the theory is that it can go together with so many different ones. All of them. This can go with all of these. If you want to do colour work, or maybe you just want a semi-solid for a jumper, I don't know. This is on Surrey, so once again Surrey is always a bit lighter than all of its counterparts because that is just how it absorbs dye. So this is fluffy lace, sturdy DK. Oh, you can really see the sparkles on this one. So this is sparkle sock. Look at all those sparkles. You know what, when I say that my sparkle yarn is sparkly, I'm not messing around. So then we've got the tweed 4-ply, and then finally the boucle, which has a bit of fluff on it because it's been sat next to a skein of fluff on the shelf. So next up we have the colourway that I called Steamed Milk, which is meant to look like steamed milk. Now it looks like it's undyed. Tell you what, I will bring down a skein of undyed and I will compare the two of the same base next to each other so you can see that it's not quite undyed. You can see that it's got some darker patches in it as well, which is why it's semi-solid. I just want to give accurate representations because I know it's difficult, expectations maybe, it's difficult online when you're shopping to know what you're getting. So I just want to share with you what you know, I'm just trying to set expectations. So this is Steamed Milk on merino sock here. And I actually happen to have a skein of undyed merino sock here. So that is so you can kind of see the contrast between them. It's a bit more cooler toned. It's a bit more, there's kimchi hair on it. It's a bit more, I don't know, almost like a light fawn taupe colour. I don't really know. But this is undyed and this is steamed milk. So it's difficult to see without the comparison sometimes, but hopefully that will help. Because these together in colour work, I just hit myself on the nose in excitement. So this is Sparkle Sock. Sparkle Sock always takes dye a little differently when they're this light because the base itself is whiter to start with. So it takes dye a little differently, but exact same recipe used. Very pretty. We've got fluffy lace. This is the mohair, so floofy. Look at that halo. Oh, delicioso. And I may as well share the Surrey while we're at it. Surrey Cloud Lace. The cat's going to jump down? Maybe not. She's just repositioning herself. Okay. We have the boucle. You can see the variegation a little bit more on this one. Tweed. I love this in tweed. I think it's so good. And then sturdy sock. And she's just jumped down. So this is steamed milk. I think that this also pairs very nicely over here with these two. Goes nicely with this one. Goes quite well with this one, but isn't really contrast. It's just, for example, if you wanted a plain mohair to go with that, that is a good combo. So options, these are options that we have. Right, I'm going to pop these back on the shelf, and then I'll show you the final two colourways, and then I will love you and leave you to get on with your day because I've taken up a lot of your time. We are on to the final two colourways. Now, one of these colourways might be quite a spoiler for the book. Sincerest apologies if that is the case, but we'll do the other one first. So this is cinnamon roll. It's kind of like a yellow golden brown colour, obviously inspired by cinnamon rolls. The theory behind this is that it goes quite well with this one or this one or this one. Yeah, we've got options. We have options on what it goes with, but also just goes very well in the sort of collection of semi-solids. Oh, why am I putting them away as I go? That's not what I've been doing. This is it on Suri, so it is quite light on Suri in comparison to, say, mohair. Mohair is quite a rich colour, but oh, it's so nice. I love it so much. This is on Sturdy DK. A sturdy sock. Got merino sock just here. Sparkle sock. And finishing up with the boucle. I love this with boucle. I think it looks so good. I think I just need to knit myself something out of boucle, and then maybe I'll stop being so obsessed with it. I think that needs to happen. I think I need to knit myself a boucle cardi or something. Last up we have Magical Flame. Tell you what, it's not going to be a spoiler because I'm just not going to explain why it's green. But it's called Magical Flame. I'm not going to explain anything about it, and then it's not anything. But it's a really pretty, quite a yellow green. Not a yellow green, but you know, in like the scale of greens, it's not like a, I don't know, it's just a nice green. Goes well with this, goes with these, you know. So this is Sparkle. Suri, once again, is a bit paler. Mario, who is my husband, if you are unaware, has already demanded a pair of socks out of this, so sturdy sock. I feel like that's going to be quite a boring sock for me to knit though, because it's just one colour. Maybe I'll knit a pair of home instead, because he hadn't seen those ones. He just came into the dye shed, saw this, was like, yes please. That, oh, tweed, sorry. Oh no, I've been talking to a camera for too long. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Mohair. Then we have merino sock just here. Almost finished, folks. Sturdy DK just here. And then boucle just here. So that is all of the colourways. This collection is going to be available for pre-order on Saturday, the 14th of October. That is also my business's 10th anniversary. The Corner of Craft has been going for 10 years tomorrow. So that is, I thought this would be a perfect time to launch. Very exciting. Don't forget that if you are in the Biscuit Brew crew, you can use your coupon code for 10% off this entire collection. So yeah, don't forget to use that. This collection will launch at 4 PM BST UK time. Please be aware that our clocks here haven't changed yet. I know that there is a weekend where some of the world has already gone into daylight saving. You know, they've changed their clock. They've fallen backwards, and we haven't done that yet. So just be aware of that. We do that in a couple of weeks' time. So yes, I don't know how long they're going to be up for because I don't know how well they're going to sell, but I do have quite a busy week the week after launching them. Of course I do. I'm so good at timing these things. So maybe a week and a half, but it entirely depends on how well they sell. If they sell very well and I'm getting overwhelmed and I'm thinking, oh dear God, I'm never going to be able to dye this much yarn, then I will close them. because while money is nice, sanity is nicer. So yes, that entirely depends on how well they sell. I am going to aim to do a turnaround time of around 8 weeks, but once again, that does entirely depend on how well they sell. Once they have sold and I've closed it, then I will say how long the estimated turnaround time is going to be. Because yes, obviously I can't predict these things, because if I sell 2 skeins, the turnaround time will be a few days. But if I sell a lot, then it might take a little bit longer, especially with Christmas and everything. So yes, the goal is to have them shipped out definitely by the end of the year, but it all depends. It all depends. If you have any questions about the collection, please leave them below. Have you read this book? Have you enjoyed this book? I believe it's currently on Kindle for 99p. It might not be anymore, but as time of recording it is. So if you wanted to give it a go, that is the perfect time to do it. There is a new one coming out, a prequel to this, called Bookshops and Bone Dust, or Bone Dust and Bookshops. I forget which way around the words are, but it's a prequel to this book, and it's meant to be coming out in the beginning of November, so I'm very excited about that. I'm looking forward to that. We'll definitely read that at some point. Maybe I'll treat myself after I've shipped this collection. I'll treat myself to that book and have a nice cozy reading time. Let me know in the comments down below what patterns that you're thinking of. What is your favourite colourway from this collection? I would love to hear from you. I feel like I'm being judged by my cat, who is bird watching. And yes, give this book a read if you fancy something light and sort of cozy feeling. I did really enjoy it. I thought it was really good. So that is the Legends and Lattes collection. I hope that you liked it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being here. If you are still here, leave a coffee emoji in the comments below. That would be nice. Or the swords. Shield also works, you know, something vaguely related to the book. Leave the appropriate emoji in the comments down below. And with all that being said, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being amazing. And yeah, I'll see you very soon in my next video. Hopefully I can get back to regular uploading. Hopefully by next week my advents will be completely done and I'll be able to function like a normal person again, apart from dying all of this. Unless, once again, I sell 2 skeins. So thank you for being such an incredible person, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Yes, bye.